My name is Robert and I will be your host. Today we'll be talking about infection control. Now, infection control is very important because it keeps patients and healthcare providers alike healthy and free from infection. During this film, we will be learning about medical asepsis, isolation precautions, sterile procedures, and special precautions such as sharps and bodily fluids. We will also be meeting a new friend along the way. These are the adventures of Infection Control Man. Medical asepsis is the most basic form of infection control, and hand hygiene is essential to proper medical asepsis. Also, it is important to wear gloves, especially if there is risk of contact with bodily fluids. After the exam is complete, be sure to place soiled linens in the proper bin and clean the equipment with the facility-approved wipes.
We'll be in this room here. Have a seat on the table. So we're taking a couple pictures of your abdomen today. Where's most of the pain?
Right here.
Right there. Okay. Chance of pregnancy at all?
No, ma'am.
All right. Constipation or diarrhea today?
No.
All right. Go ahead and lay on your back at the table. The table's moving up. Good news. We are all done. Let me just lower the table. How are you feeling? All right. Let me help you up there. Just sit there for a minute. Any questions?
No.
All right, I'll walk you out.
Okay.
Always remember, for proper hand washing, 20 seconds of friction with soap and water are required.
Who are you?
I'm Infection Control Man. Before you leave the room, did you make sure to change the linens, clean the equipment, and wash your hands?
Of course, infection control man.
That's awesome!
If a patient has a particularly infectious disease, they may be placed in isolation. You always need to be aware of isolation precautions, so be on the lookout for a sign posted on the patient's door or a cart outside the room containing personal protective equipment or PPE. Remember that there are different kinds of isolation, so be sure to wear the appropriate PPE for each one, whether it be a gown and gloves, mask, or a combination of both. When donning your PPE, it is important to begin by performing proper hand hygiene. After your hand hygiene is complete, you should begin by putting on a gown. Once your gown has been properly put on, you may put on a mask. Make sure the wire conforms to the bridge of your nose. The last piece of equipment to put on is a pair of gloves. Congratulations! You have now properly donned your PPE. When doffing your PPE, you should begin with your gown. Remember that your gloves are contaminated, so be careful not to touch your clothes or skin. After your gown is off, you should roll it up away from you and put it in the proper bin. Next, remove your gloves. And lastly, take off your mask. After all your PPE is off, make sure to use proper hand hygiene. Congratulations, you have successfully doffed your PPE.
X-ray.
Not so fast.
Infection control man.
Before you enter that room, you need to be wearing the proper PPE.
PPE?
Personal protective equipment. This patient is in droplet isolation, which means you need to be wearing a mask and you need to perform proper hand hygiene.
Thanks, infection control man.
Stop right there.
But I'm just bringing the patient a warm blanket.
This patient is in contact isolation, and no matter how long you're in the room or whether or not you make direct contact with the patient, you must don the correct PPE.
You know what? You're right, infection control man. Wow! Thanks, infection control man.
Oh, just a mask.
Hold your horses.
What? I saw the sign and put on a mask.
Well, it's good that you noticed the sign, but this patient is an airborne, which requires an N95 respirator mask. Have you been fit tested?
I have. I'm a regular size.
The N95 respirator has a filter on the top that prevents airborne pathogens from passing through. A regular mask just won't do.
Thanks, infection control man. What would I do without you?
When putting on sterile gloves, be sure to remove all jewelry and practice proper hand hygiene. Uncover the gloves. With your left hand, grab the cuff of the right glove and slip it on. Do not adjust the cuff. Slip your fingers under the cuff of the other glove and slip it on. You may now adjust the cuffs.
Oh dear, I must change my gloves.
Oh no, you do not have time for that. Nobody saw you anyways.
Contamination woman, what are you doing here?
Infection control man.
Wait, what's going on here?
This is my arch nemesis, Contamination woman. She's trying to get you to break sterile technique.
What?
We will meet again, infection control man.
When you touched your hair with your glove, you contaminated it. Before you continue, you must re-scrub in and put on a new pair of gloves.
Wow, thanks, infection control man.
That's lit!
When completing procedures involving needles or other sharp objects, it is important to dispose of these materials into the proper bins. Many of these procedures involve hazardous materials, such as blood or other bodily fluids. These must also be disposed of into their proper bins.
What bin should I put these in? Just throw them into the regular garbage.
Are you sure?
Of course, it's all trash anyways. It doesn't matter what bin it goes in.
Freeze!
Not you again.
What's going on?
You're disposing of those into the wrong bin.
It doesn't matter what bin it goes in.
Yes, it does.
Well, where should I put them?
Well, the sharps go into the sharps container right here on the wall, while the objects that are contaminated with bodily fluids go into this biohazard bin right here.
No! I've had enough of you, Infection Control Man.
It's time to finish you off once and for all.
Bring it on, Infection Control Man.
How about some sterile gloves?
Oh no! Not the sterile drape!
I have finally defeated Contamination Woman once and for all!
Wow, what an amazing adventure! Infection Control Man does a great job at making sure patients and healthcare professionals stay healthy. Whether it's medical asepsis, sterile procedures, isolation precautions, or special precautions, Infection Control Man truly is the go-to guy for preventing the spread of infection. And now I'd like to introduce our special guest, Infection Control Man.
How's it going, Bob? Real honor to be on your show today.
Oh no, the honor is all mine. I've been wanting you on the show for a long time, but you're a busy man. Hey, I've got some questions I've been dying to ask you. First is, when did you get your passion for fighting infection?
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. When I was born, the first word out of my mouth was clean, so what does that tell you?
Oh, great.
Nah, I'm just kidding. It was Mom. I mean, honestly, my entire life has been revolved around it, so it just comes natural to me.
That's excellent. I mean, it's really inspirational. You truly are an icon and a role model to all healthcare professionals out there.
You're too kind.
Thank you. Hey, listen, you recently completed a great accomplishment by defeating your arch nemesis, Contamination Woman. I've got to ask, how does that feel?
Well, it feels really good to know that Contamination Woman and all of her evil plots have finally come to an end.
That's excellent. I mean, but does that mean that there's no longer any risk for infection or contamination?
That's not true. I mean, the risk of infection is always right around the corner. The only thing we can do is try to prevent it.
Well, I gotta say, I feel a lot safer having you around. Hey, so thanks for joining us today, and thanks to all our viewers out there at home who have joined us for this epic adventure.